Mesopotamians, 4000 BCE. They made use of pyramid-like structures made of 7 terraces, known as ziggurats, to observe celestial bodies. They kept track of a yearly cycle for use of agriculture. They were the first to separate a circle into 360 degrees. Egyptians developed astronomy for practical uses, such as a calendar to protect the flooding of the Nile River. They aligned many temples and monuments with celestial bodies. Stonehenge, prehistoric monument in Wiltshire, England, 2 miles west of Amesbury and 8 miles north of Salisbury. Whoever built it clearly had great knowledge of the sun, moon, and star alignment. The Chinese. They were the first to split the year into 365 days. The main job of the Chinese astronomers was to chart time, announce the first day of every month, and predict lunar eclipses. If they were wrong in their predictions, then they were beheaded. Thales, 624 through 547 BCE. A merchant said to have gained knowledge in Egypt, and said to have predicted solar eclipse, but believed he mistook the lunar eclipse cycle for the solar eclipse cycle. Pythagoras, 582 through 500 BCE. He developed a model for the solar system and developed the Pythagorean theorem for geometry. Babylon, 500 BCE. They determined the synodic periods of several celestial bodies, 384 to 322 BCE. He was a student of Plato, who believed celestial bodies were spheres. Aristarchus, 276 BC through 194 BC. He was a Greek mathematician, geographer, poet, astronomer, and music theorist. He was a man of learning, Hipparchus, chief librarian at the Library of Alexandria, to 120 BC. He came up with an idea to measure the circumference of the Earth. He was a Greek astronomer, geographer, and mathematician. He's considered the founder of trigonometry, but is most famous for his incidental discovery of the precision of the equinoxes. Ptolemy, 19 CE through 168 Mayans, CE, 250 CE. Arabs, best known for the classical civilizations of Mesopotamia. They originally created the 12-month originating in the Yukon around 250 AD in present-day southern Mexico, Guatemala, western Honduras, El Salvador, and northern Belize. Bray, 1546 CE through 1601 in their beliefs, space and time are inviolably intertwined. Known for his accurate and as is evidenced by their complex calendar system that combines spatial attributes of the universe, such as animals and plants, with temporal movements in astronomical objects. Although the Mayans never invented water clocks or other specific timekeeping devices, they used the sky as a method of measuring the passage of time. Ardently, the passion for exact temporal facts. His observations were some 5 times more accurate than the best available observations at his time. Greco-Egyptian writer known as a mathematician, astronomer, geographer, astrologer, and poet of a single epigram in the Greek astrology. Galileo, 1564 through 1642 CE. Italian astronomer, physicist, engineer, philosopher, and mathematician who played a major role in the scientific revolution of the 17th century. He provided a number of scientific insights that laid the foundation for future scientists. His investigation of the laws of motion, his improvements on the telescope helped further the understanding of the world and universe around him. Both led him to question the current belief of time, that all things revolved around the earth. Disproved the theory of the earth being stationary and located at the center of the universe, with celestial bodies in perfect circular movements, but rather in a large ellipse rotations, that include the earth around the more perfect stationary center. During the period when Western civilization was experiencing the Dark Ages between 700 and 12,000 CE, an Islamic empire stretched from Central Asia to Southern Europe. Scholarly learning was prized by people and were contributed greatly to science and mathematics. For instance, Ptolemy's model of the Earth-centered universe formed the basis of Arab and Islamic astronomy, but several Islamic astronomers made observations and calculations which were considerably more accurate than Ptolemy's. Perhaps the most fascinating aspect of the Islamic astronomy is the fact that it built on science of two great cultures, the Greek and Indian. Blending and expanding these often different ideas led to a new science, which later profoundly influenced Western scientific exploration beginning in the Renaissance. Kepler, 1571 to 1603 CE. German mathematician, geographer, and astrologer who believed the three laws of planetary motion. Scientists believe that planets in the solar system traveled in circular orbits around the Earth. The occasional problem was solved by the addition of miniature circles to planetary paths. But Kepler not only adamantly defended the idea that planets orbit the sun, he also revealed that their paths were not perfect circles. His descriptions of planetary motions became known as Kepler's laws. Newton, 1647 through 1727 CE, is an English astronomer, physicist, mathematician who is widely recognized as one of the most influential scientists of all time and key figure in scientific revolution. He invented calculus. He also developed the three laws of motion, which are named after himself, still today used in modern science. Edmund Halley is an English astronomer, geophysicist, mathematician, meteorologist, and physicist, best known for computing the orbit of the Artemis Halley's comet. He incorrectly predicted the Earth was made of concentric spheres the size of inner planets, which might contain life. Einstein. He wrote a letter to the Roosevelt that led the Manhattan Project. He's a German-born theoretical physicist who developed two theories of relativity. Niels Bohr. He's a Danish physicist who made fundamental contributions to understanding atomic structure and quantum theory, for which he received the Nobel Prize in Physics 1922. He created the Bohr model used to display atoms on a two-dimensional surface. Wolfgang Pauli, 1900 through 1958. He's an Austrian-born Swiss and American theoretical physicist and one of the pioneers of quantum physics. He discovered the Pauli exclusion principle, which states no electrons can occupy the same quantum state, and was given the Nobel Prize for Physics 1945. Edwin Hubble, 1889 through 1953. He's an American astronomer who played a crucial role in establishing the field of extragalactic astronomy. He is generally regarded as one of the most important observational cosmologists of the 20th century. Dr. Hubble showed that some of the numerous distant faint clouds of the light in the universe were actually entire galaxies, much like our own Milky Way. The realization that the Milky Way is one of the many galaxies forever changed by the astronomers viewed our place in the universe. They determined that the further a galaxy is from Earth, the faster it appears to move away. The notion of an expanding universe formed the basis of the Big Bang theory, which states that the universe began with an intense burst of energy in a single moment of time, and has been expanding ever since. George Lemaître, 1894 through 1966. Fountain priest, astronomer, and professor of physics at the Catholic University of Leuven, who reported the theory of the expansion of the universe widely distributed to Edwin Hubble. Robert Oppenheimer, 1904 through 1967. American theoretical physicist and professor of physics at the University of California, Berkeley. He was appointed as a technical director of the Manhattan Project. Under his guidance, the creation of the first atomic bomb occurred. Fred Hoyle, 1915 through 2001. He's an English astronomer who noted primarily for the theory of solar nucleosynthesis, also for his often controversial stances on other scientific matters. He's also a scientist whose rudeness cost him the Nobel Prize. Penzias and Wilson. Penzias is 83 years old, still living today. Wilson is 80 years old, and he's also still alive. Accidentally, they discovered the cosmic background radiation when they were experimenting with the Holmdel-Horn antenna, which helped establish the Big Bang theory of cosmology. Armstrong and Aldrin. Armstrong died in 2012, while Aldrin is 68 years old, still living. They were the first men on the moon. They landed the Lunar Space Module Apollo 11, and Buzz Aldrin has also done voice acting for video game Mass Effect 3.